Hi, it's Kuma. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a very special video. Today actually marks my 1 year on YouTube. Yay! When I made this channel a year ago, I don't think I expected that it would come this far or that I'd still be doing this. I kind of made it on a whim, to be honest. I didn't really think much about it. I am so happy that I started this channel because I got to meet so many of you and it's been a really great creative outlet for me. So I'm just so thankful to all of you who are here, new and old. What do people do on celebrations? They eat cake, or at least I eat cake. I enjoy cake a lot. So I thought I would make a punchy little cake and I could put it on my wall as a reminder of this milestone. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small they may appear to others. Maybe they're big to you. And this to me is a big milestone. I went thrifting, no surprise there. And I picked up this cool LP clock. Not only is this clock amazing as a decoration piece, but I also have this awesome box that it came in. They already have a circle for me. I can use this cardboard as the foundation for this cake. Enough yapping, let's just get on into it and celebrate this birthday with me. When cutting cardboard, I highly suggest using an electronic cutter because it will make your life so much easier. This thing definitely changed my life, especially when it comes to breaking down large boxes, which we tend to have a lot of in our apartment. Originally, I was planning to use this piece of cardboard as the foundation of the cake, but upon further inspection, it was just so large. I didn't think I wanted to make a cake that big, so I thought that I might use it as a plate or a platter to put the final punch needle cake on top of, but that didn't really end up happening. So instead, I grabbed a bowl from the kitchen and traced that on top of another piece of cardboard that I had from an IKEA shelf that I had built earlier and used that instead as the top of the cake. I'm a trash collector. I love that stuff. I love collecting cardboard because it's so versatile as a material. You can do so much with it. So I always have a little stash of cardboard. I decided that to make the cake more interesting, it would be nice to have a slice cut out of it. That way we can have a cross section of the inside of the cake. And I think it would just give it a little bit more dimension and just make it look a little bit more interesting. So I roughly measured out the middle point of the cake and just cut out a slice of that cake. Now we get to do the fun part of this project, which is the punching. So I decided to start with the interior of the cake, and I thought about what kind of flavor I was craving at that time, and it usually is funfetti and a strawberry. I decided to put the funfetti on the top with a layer of frosting in between, and then have the strawberry cake on the bottom. You'll see later on that I had to redo one of these pieces because I had them facing the same direction. When they're facing each other, you want the layer of frosting to be on the outside of the cake, so I had to redo this later on, but I didn't know that yet, so I was blissfully unaware of the future. Not a big deal. Thankfully, this part of the cake is relatively small, so it didn't take up that much time to redo this, but you'll see that later on. Before I could get started on punching the sides of the cake, I thought that it would be a good idea to build the overall structure. I took another piece of cardboard from my stash that was the perfect size for the sides of the cake, and it already had a lot of ridges in it, so it was a lot more malleable than the other pieces of cardboard. So then I took that cardboard and wrapped it around the sides of the top of the cake, basically building the walls. Now that we have our guide, we can trace the piece of cardboard onto our monk's cloth, but because my punch needle frame can only accommodate for 15 inches, I had to do this in 2 parts. Also, to add some pizzazz, I wanted to add some icing detailing on the sides, so I just chose this bright blue to add some more color to our cake. I had some leftover space on the monk's cloth, so I thought it would be cute to make more decorations. I made some hearts and stars in bright colors, and I thought I would attach it to the top of the cake. I finished the sides of the cake and I am just going to glue it on so we have some structure here. We love corrugated cardboard because of the ability to kind of manipulate it, I hope, in the way that I want. So yeah, this will be the sides of the cake. I try to make it look like white frosting with some blue icing on there. I try to make them connect as well as I could. Okay, well, they're not focusing, but I made these decorations. I don't know what to do with them, if I want to like glue them onto the top of the cake, or we can like sew them on to the sides so it gives it a little bit more oomph, you know? So that's an option. Also, I was a dodo, and so my cake has like a cross section cut out, and it was supposed to have this cake inside. They're supposed to be on opposite sides like this, So now I have to redo this. It just doesn't work that way. I changed my mind. I'm going to sew these little decoration pieces onto the sides first before I glue, because once I glue it on the cardboard, it's kind of stuck. You can't really sew through cardboard very easily. I just think it'll look so cute and add some character to the sides here and kind of hide the wonkiness that it is. Although I don't really mind that it's kind of not perfect, because when you're making a cake, is it really gonna be perfect? Not when I make them. I'm not a baker, you'll see soon. I'm really not a baker. I'm also thinking about sewing these sides together, because then I think it'll be easier to glue onto the cardboard piece after. I have some white thread here and I have a bunch of needles here, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. Although a bit cumbersome, I think that sewing these two pieces together was the move. It allowed me to make sure the pieces connected in the way that I wanted before we got to the gluing phase. I kind of wish I sewed more pieces of the cake together prior to gluing. It could have helped the overall presentation, but you know, we learn as we go. Now it's time to do the most important part of the cake, at the very top of it. This part was a little intimidating because I didn't know what design I wanted it to have, but I just opted for something very simple and wanted to do like a piped icing design. Can you pipe icing? Bakers, can you pipe icing? I don't even know. Originally, I'd planned for it to be all pink, but then I thought it looked kind of boring compared to the vibrant colors of the side of the cake. So then I just chose every color that I had in my yarn closet. Moshi moshi. Everything has been finished for our cake making, plus some. I made some onigiri because I had some extra space. Market alert, on July 12th, I will be at the Japanology Fair in Pasadena, California. So you can find me there and I will have a lot of cute Japanese themed items, as I typically do anyway. So yeah, I just wanted to fill up that space with some onigiri. We have the cross section of the cake, the top of the cake, and now we get to assemble everything. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous because I hope all the pieces fit together, but I'm sure it will, because how could it not? You know, why wouldn't it? What could go wrong? The cake is done baking, it's out of the oven, and look how cute it is. I just think that it's so much fun and it has so much personality. The inside really does look like cake. You have your strawberry and you have your funfetti with the white frosting to tie it all together. I think it looks great. I added this little tie so it could hang flat on my wall. This is what the back looks like. I added some structural pieces. I don't know if it actually does anything, but I wanted it to help support this portion. And then to reinforce this, I hot glued the twine and then I put some duct tape on top. Hopefully that's enough to keep it from falling apart, but it feels really sturdy. This is a pretty big cake and I love it so much. How about we bake one together and make it come to life? I have some icing, I have some frosting, and I have a dream. Hopefully it goes as smoothly as this project has gone so far.
Every year, the nation's worst cooks are drafted into the most intense culinary boot camp in the country.
I put flour.
All right.
And something else white. Should I put butter?
I've never seen a recipe like this.
Oh my God. This is not IHOP, it's IHopeless.
good? You good?
Oh, God.
The worst cooks in America.
That didn't really work out. I think Are you laughing? I didn't think I could mess up box cake. Stop laughing. I think I'll stick to crafting. That was my 1 year on YouTube celebration video. Thanks for watching. I hope that you continue to stick around for a year or two, and next year maybe we can make something edible. Next week's video is kind of random, but I hope that you enjoy that one also. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, all the things, everything down below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being a part of this journey of mine. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go clean the kitchen now. Thank you. Bye.